Hey folks, B59 here. Welcome back to my Piasa Transport playthrough of Transport Fever 2. In our last episode, Eliza Beidel, COO of Piasa Transport, conducted an ops review of Memphis and the Arkansas River. She created a punch list of all the things she would like us to do, and so we're going to start tackling that punch list today. The first item is here in West Memphis, and all of these commercial buildings we see down this street that the city expanded to on the west side of the Mississippi. These buildings are not getting supplied with tools, and so what she asked us to do is to put a new tool delivery line in, and that's what we're gonna do. So the first thing we need to do is this is going to be one of the easy ones, is to create a drop-off here for these buildings. And it looks like they're all over here. What would be an efficient way to do this? Yeah, we could put, for instance, just a simple little platform in here that would make a turnaround easier. It could be short. And, otherwise there's just really not a good way to, the other thing we could do is we could build a little road here, but I don't think that's what we want to do. We're going to just put a little bitty truck station in here, try and get it somewhat perpendicular to the main road. And it covers all of the things we need covered. And we're going to name this we'll leave it as Upper Memphis, that's fine. And then we will create a new line from here to here. And we're going to color it this kind of light blue for the tools. And at the Memphis Wharf warehouse, it will load tools. And then in Upper Memphis, it will drop them off. And we will name this line Delivery Memphis Tools 2. And then I think what I'd like to do over here is maybe add another platform so that we don't, we've got people boxed up here already because we have folks waiting for. Yeah, that's the other tools line. It has a rate of 93, but it's not getting that at the moment. Let's see. Well, it says it's shipping 94, so it should be just about on track. Maybe it's waiting for. Well, no, it's got some tools it's making, so we'll let that be, but I think what we will do is create another little platform for this new line so that the trucks don't get backed up behind this other line. And we don't expect a lot of traffic on it. So we'll come here to our Delivery Memphis Tools 2, get that over onto Terminal 1. And now it looks like that it still has a potential to get blocked by this traffic here. But we'll see. Now we don't need a whole bunch of trucks over here, so we're going to start with just 3. And because it's not supplying that many businesses on that side of the river. Okay, and with that, we can check off the first item on Eliza's punch list. The next item is that the Memphis Tools needs more planks, but that's something that's on the problem to solve list, so we'll just put it there and park it there for now. And then the Memphis food plant needs more grain, and we need to add another farm's supply here. And I think what she saw last time is that we have a couple of choices. There's this farm here, which we could run a train up to, and that would probably be the easiest and simplest. The other option, actually, which wouldn't be bad, would be to put a to run this one as a river transport. And I'm not adverse to doing that, but I don't want to end up having to run a bunch of trucks to make that happen. So if we tried to drop a cargo harbor here, would it even reach, or would it have to yeah, it doesn't have it's not within the catchment area. So you know what? We're not going to do that. It's too messy. Too messy. We're gonna run a little shunt. This is part of the Piasa Transport's experimentation with the trains. We've heard Samuel Clemens extol not so much the virtues, but the economic efficiencies of trains and how they're destroying the riverboat business to Eliza. And she's been listening to that, and she thinks, well, maybe we should invest a little bit more in trains. So that's what they're going to do here, and she's going to put, or rather the branch manager is going to put a terminus truck station at this end, and then another one down here at this end near the food processing plant. Let's see. I think if I could down here, probably want to twist, man, it's just a little bit that way. Okay. There we go. And now we'll run some track. We're just going to run a single track because this is going to be, well, I don't know if we're going to be able to cut that corner all in one fell swoop. Maybe. Collision somewhere along the way. Oh, it's this road. Ah, well, the road is completely unnecessary. Does this stretch right in here? Actually, does this road go on down to... It does. It connects them to Vicksburg. So we don't want to get rid of it entirely. We just want to get it out of the way. So let's... And this was the troublesome section. We'll put the tracks in first. And then we'll come back and fix that road. Let's see, what does this look like? That looks fine. And coming over here, crosses over this little lake. That's fine. And so yeah, so let's click enter. And then let's see if we can fix this road. Should be okay because I think this is all pretty flat. Yeah, the road goes right. That's a nice connection. Click that in, and so we're good. Now we do need a depot. For that, I'm inclined to put it just for historical or whatever purposes down here, so that it's near the city. Because, oops, I don't think it's going to feed off of a dirt road. And let's get it flat. Okay, that looks good. Now we can put our depot in. Oops. Okay. There we go. It's a cheap depot. Oh, how lovely. We made this a passenger station. That was brilliant. Brilliant. Let's see, can we... I think we can just... Let's see. I don't want to delete the whole thing. Okay, now we're going to wait for an autosave. But yeah, I think what I'll do here is rather than knock it down and rebuild it, since I've got all the tracks in and everything, I'm just going to go ahead and take out this old passenger platform and replace it with a cargo platform. Or rather, a bunch of cargo platforms. Oh yeah, this'll do. All hail the configurable station. And then we will come down to this other passenger station and we'll configure it too. Get out our bulldozer tool. And take the last of that out. Oops, we didn't quite get them all. Put our cargo platforms in. All right, that looks a little better. And now we will create our new line. What is this line? It is nothing. So we will use this empty line here. Although, you know, I kind of want it to go the other way around. My brain gets confused if I don't start at the resource supply and then end at my factory. We're going to make this grain colored. And at Vicksburg Exchange, we're going to have it load grain. And at Memphis, we're going to have it unload grain. And we will name this Shunt Memphis Farm. All right, now all we need to do is get a train on there, and we will have this processing facility completely happy. So we need a ton of gondolas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. We can get up to... Let's try that to see what happens. 7 million. We got it. And we will get this on our Shunt Memphis Farm. Let's just take a look at our new line. It has a rate of 286, which is actually too much. This farm is only going to produce 200. So we can take off nearly a third of those vehicles. And there were 21. We'll take off 6 to start with. See what that does. 204. Perfect. All right. So that takes care of the third item on Eliza's punch list. And I'm really happy to say, or I don't know, happy, but this is a much easier punch list than we had in Ohio River. We're going to turn off some of this noise. Every time I kind of scroll out on this, I'm kind of amazed at what a productive and complex and profitable network we built here on the Mississippi River, all around a river transport system. Okay, so the next item on the list is that the Little Rock delivery drop-off is not covering everything, and she wants us to add a second drop-off and reposition the original. So if we dive into Little Rock, what we see is that there is indeed only one drop-off, and it's taking both the fuels and the tools. And it doesn't, if we recall correctly from our review with Eliza, adequately cover either tools or fuel. So there's fuel over here that's not getting covered and tools over here that's not getting covered. So we need to first, let's build a new fuels drop off, and we'll get that line switched over first. And somewhere here is absolutely fine. Yeah, so, okay, so we can actually come out up here and drop it off maybe here. Does that even cover that far out one? No. Yeah, that does. Does this? No, it doesn't. So really, to get everything, we have to drop off right about in here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put that in. We're going to name it the Little Rock Fuel Drop-Off. And we will go into this existing fuel line. We'll manage the line. After the warehouse, we'll tell it to go to the Little Rock Fuel Drop-Off. Drop off everything there. And then we will get rid of that line. Okay. So that takes care of the fuel line. Now we need to do the tools line. And for this, I'm going to pause briefly. We're going to knock this old drop-off out. And then we'll put a new one in. And it should just automatically move it over. And when we put the drop-off here, it looks like it covers all the tools everywhere. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to drop that one in there. Looks like it made the pickup. It did. And now we have completed the fourth item on Eliza's punch list. We have added the second drop-off for fuel, and we have repositioned the original for tools. And now we have complete coverage. And what Eliza hopes is that that will give us the demand signals we need for all of the production plants and factories to send us a full complement of tools and fuel. She also noted that the Little Rock bus line is overloaded. And indeed it is. We got a bunch of people here. 61, too many. And so we're going to take Oh yeah, this is a funny line. You know, what do we have here? We have two lines, right? That one and that one. What? Okay. Huh. What I'm wondering here is we almost have this inner city line. Yeah. These are long lines. And what we might want to consider here is actually taking this inner city line and running it separately. Or maybe have, yeah, run it separately. And we'll instead have just a smaller line that goes from here to here to here. So if we were today to take, well, actually, let's do it this way. Let's add a new line so that passengers can reconfigure themselves. In fact, I don't think that's exactly where I want that line. I think what I want to do is have it be here. Have it be here. Or maybe across the street. But how do we want to do this? Yeah, we want to run it this way. Like this. That's what we'll do. And we will start here. Go here. Go here. And this is actually going to be our purple line, but for the moment we'll make it deep blue. And we'll name this one the... What do we call these? It's a bus, right? Yeah. Bus, Little Rock, Ferry. And we'll name the other one... an inner city line. And then what we can do is we can take off from this line. We go into manage. Well, first let's get some vehicles on this new line, and we'll get 5 stagecoaches to start. And this is the bus, the Little Rock Ferry. And then we'll tell our old line that it's not going to go, let's see, what is this called? William Street? It's not going to go to William Street anymore. Yeah, it's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's going to be called Little Rock counterclockwise. And then we also have our actually clockwise, counterclockwise, and then we'll take it out of this other one as well, and it will be Little Rock clockwise. All right, so now we have maybe improved things. We'll see. Experiment, Eliza. We'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so for now, at least, we've done something to try to fix that. And we'll, at some point, just take a peek down here to see if it actually helped. Or needs some further tweaking. Okay, so then the next item on her punch list, number 6, is that the Little Rock brick plant needs more stone. And when we take a look at the line at the... material plan itself, we see that it's only getting about 3/4 of what it needs. And the line itself is only, it's only able to produce that much. It's not a fancy line, but it needs to be big. It needs to be bigger. Now, if we take a look at this vehicle today, We would need to add about a quarter of these vehicles in, so it has 10. We need to add about 3 more vehicles. And if we did that, you know, what would its... You know, this is a little bit of a slopey run. I'm kind of tempted to go ahead and put another train on here. Again, we've got the money. And so let's do that modification, and let's take a look now at what that did overall. It tells us we have a rate of 376. That's close, but not quite enough. So let's go in and add one more gondola. And just for sakes, what did that get add? Oh wait, minus? Oh yeah, that's right. And that gets us up to 405. So that should now take care of what happened here. Let's see, I want to move this back. There we go. Okay. Okay, so that takes care of the Little Rock brick plant needing more stone, the 6th item on Eliza's punch list, and we will check that off. And then the 7th item is that the Fort Smith brick drop-off doesn't cover all industry. So if we head up the river here to Fort Smith, we see that we have one drop-off. Actually, we have 2 drop-offs. And I think it's the brick one that's not covering everything, if I remember right. Yeah, so we have some over here that aren't getting covered. And what Eliza thought is that we can't really reposition this to cover everything because of the way that the roads are configured. If we try to move it down this way, it cuts those off. We move it over here, it cuts those others off. Let's see, conceivably, could that cover it? No, that cuts some of them off as well. So what she's wondering, first of all, is if we cut a street in here, like from here somewhere in here, like maybe here to here, it's going to take out some buildings. 5 buildings? How about 3? How about 3? And it's an experiment, but what does this do to this drop-off? Does it now engage everything? Yeah, it does. So that worked. It picked up this extra building here, and we now have full coverage in our Fort Smith for the brick drop-off. Okay, so we've made short work of the first 7 items on Eliza's punch list. What's left are the 6 items that cover this Tri-City area of Joplin, Tulsa, and Oklahoma City. And I think what we'll do is save those for the next episode and call it good here today. I think it'd be fun just to take the bus for a little bit here through Fort Smith as we go out. God, I love these old river towns. Yeah, this is actually pretty cool. I'm not sure that they had so much cobblestone back in 1885. I'm guessing there was a lot more dirt. But, and also probably not so much stone houses. Probably more timber frame around here and brick, because there was a lot of clay, a lot of brickworks around. But still, it's kind of fun to kind of go back into this time and imagine what it was like on the river back in the 1880s. Folks, thank you for joining me. I look forward to our next episode where we tackle, I think, a little bit more challenging problems, but good ones, and then we will be done with the Arkansas River. So thank you, and see you next time.